All right, you guys know we love the fight game and very excited anytime that BKFC rolls into town. They are going to be at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino coming up February 19th. It is KnuckleMania 2 at the beautiful Guitar Hotel. You have a stacked card. Mike Perry, he is going to be taking on Julian Lane. You got Chad Mendez making his debut. Luis Baboon Palomino's taking on Martin Smash Brown. A couple of Florida boys going at it. It is just an absolutely stacked event, and the president of BKFC, David Feldman, kind enough to join us. David, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
Oh, awesome, man. Always. Thanks for having me, Brandon.
Yeah, man, it's great to have you. Where does this one rank, man? It just feels like you've always envisioned big events, and this is about as big as it gets at a beautiful venue.
It's definitely the biggest event that we've ever done so far. I think it's super stacked from top to bottom. Some real marquee names and just great fights all over the place, man. It's going to be amazing. The last time we were at Hard Rock Casino, we sold more tickets than any other combat sporting event ever at the history of the Hard Rock, and this time we're on pace to outdo that one. So it's going to be an amazing night, February 19th at the Hard Rock. I really can't wait.
Now you got Mike Perry. He seems just cut out for this. I just like he's a wild man, and you had obviously a big blow up between him and Julian to promote this fight, which is always good. That's always good for business. But how excited are you to see Mike finally enter the BKFC squared circle?
I mean, it's great because, like I said in other interviews, that if I was to carve out this guy that I said here's who I want to fight for bare knuckle, it would have been a guy just like Mike Perry. He comes to fight. He doesn't care about anything. He doesn't back up. He just comes to fight. Win, lose, or draw, that's what he does. And Julian Lane really is kind of cut from that same cloth. He just comes. He has no reverse gear. It's going to be an unbelievable fight. I mean, I really can't wait for that one. Only thing is I got to make sure I have extra security around at the weigh-in at the press conference, and I do. So I think we're in good shape.
Well, I want to ask you about that because like that's always obviously good for fight promotion. And when you have guys have a dozen, it makes awesome video and it fires people up for the fans and things like that. But like, what goes through your mind when something breaks down like that? Whether it's that or Hector Lombard getting punched in the face at an interview or whatever, any kind of any type of post-fight shenanigans or mid-fight shenanigans when a fight isn't supposed to break out, but it does.
At the end of the day, we try to control as much as we can control, and we can't control everything. But I mean, as a promoter, it's unbelievable stuff, right? I mean, it goes viral. It's unbelievable stuff. But also as a promoter and an owner of the business, I'm saying, it's just getting a little out of hand. If it happens in the crowd, stuff like that can't happen. So, it's kind of like a really good balance here. And, like I said, they're going to have words for each other. I think Christine Fair and Britton Hart are actually going to have more words for each other than anyone else on that card. And, I'm really looking forward to the press conference. And then I'm really looking forward to the fight.
You gotta really give it off to Britton because they're rematching here, but she's got on such a tear, and that's just it's such a cool thing to see because you guys are it's an old sport renewed, but you see the experience that these guys get better and better and better once they get some more under a belt. So to see her back in this line, like it has to be just cool to see that she's getting another crack at it, and she seems like a just completely different fighter.
Yeah, well, the reason I really take my hat off to her is because, she did kind of get it handed to her in the first fight with them two. And then she asked for this fight. It wasn't like Christine was just calling her out and she said, okay, well, I guess I'm forcing the fight. She called me up. She said, hey, I want that, expletive. So give me to her. And I said, you got it. And Christine Ferreira, she's on a whole different level with these women. But, I think Britt's fighting for a different reason here, man. It's, it's revenge, it's legacy. It's so much on this fight for her. So I think it's going to be a different fight. I'm not saying it's going to be a different winner. I'm just saying it's going to be a different fight. I think Britt learned this game a little bit more as well, in her past couple of fights. And I think it's going to be a great fight.
A guy who's loved down here, Luis Baboon Palomino, obviously Miami boy. So he's going to have I'm sure, a huge contingent there. But Martin Brown's no punk. I've seen him fight on the regional scene down here in Titan FC. I've seen him fight for you guys. So this is a fun matchup too. But like for Luis, like, are you surprised that he's able to keep still going at this pace? That he continues to just still be this successful. Doesn't seem like there's any slowdown in him.
Yeah, there's no slowdown. But I mean, this is definitely his toughest opponent to date. I mean, this is a guy that's coming down from 165. He's in the 155-pound weight division. He's a taller guy. He's a stronger guy. He takes a great punch. He delivers a great punch. This is a different animal. Martin Brown is a different animal. But then again, Luis Palomino's coming off of a great fight with that and a win, where he was just, in intensive care and on a respirator for 17 days or so.
Right.
So, I mean, I think you're going to see a stronger, more put together Luis Palomino in this one. To me, this really probably is fight of the night.
Chad Mendez making his debut. You guys brought over a very, very famous man from the UFC. How excited are you about this acquisition and what he can do in your sport?
He's great, man. You know what I mean? If you watch his training videos, he looks like he's going to knock anyone in all of BKFC out. But then again, you got to see how he takes getting hit with the bare knuckle. And Joshua Alvarez fames, as we know him in BKFC, won, very, very looking very, very good in his first fight, like a, I don't know, 16, 30-second knockout. And then, he got cocky, didn't train and got it handed to him in his second fight. But, he came to me, he's training really hard. I think it's a good story because if Chad Mendez wins, he beats an experienced bare knuckle fighter. If Fames wins, he could be a future star of bare knuckle fighting championship. So it's the win-win, no matter how you flip the coin.
Well, we've spoken in the past before. You've always made it known, like, you have free agents coming at you at all times. It was right after you signed in Paige VanZant. Like, people are ringing you up from other promotions. They want to get there. Chad made it quite clear. He's like, listen, BKFC's treating me good. He even compared it to that he was getting paid more than the disclosed that Francis Ngannou got. UFC's going through a lot right now with a lot of the pay and all that type of stuff. They're getting called up by Jake Paul. Are you getting results from that? Like, do you hear even more people calling you up, after Chad says something like that, and people who are maybe in the UFC or about to leave the UFC saying, hey, I want to hop on board with you guys?
Yeah, certainly. We're getting hit up all over the place from all different combat sports, but especially a lot of the guys that fought for the UFC. We have a great relationship with the UFC. As you know, Chad is still under contract with the UFC, and this is the only time that they ever released any fighter to fight for another organization. So it's a really cool thing that they did. Yeah, they're going through some trouble, but I mean, they built this company from in the hole 58 million to a $10 billion company, I think now. So, they're doing some things right. Can they treat the fighters better? I really don't know. I don't know the insides. I don't know the side pay that they get, but some of the guys are calling out and saying they're not getting paid right. And when you go in there and you fight for your life, you should be getting paid what you're worth. And, we certainly do that. I feel like a lot of the guys in the UFC get paid very, very well, but I can't speak for them. I don't know what's going on with them, but I know that we're getting, as a result of that possible, bad talk that's going on, we're getting a lot of activity over here.
Can you give us a little insight? What's the future hold right now for Paige VanZant? Do you see her fighting for you guys again? And if so, you have a timeline on that?
Yeah, she's going to come back April, May-ish. April, May, you'll see Paige VanZant back. She'll probably, I'll break it here, maybe I can't but she's going to fight one of our top stars. It's going to be a really good fight. It's going to be in Miami. And yeah, she's definitely coming back. And we're talking to some really big stars now. We're actually shooting our talks right now out to the guy who you mentioned that Chad compared him to. We're talking to him in a little bit. So we're going to see if we can bring some big names over. So
I couldn't even imagine who would be brave enough to do that, to go up against that.
We have unbelievable news that we're going to be announcing at KnuckleMania, like during the broadcast, and I think it's going to get everybody to be like, wow. I think these guys are going to go to the moon now. So we have some really cool things happening. International expansion is off the hook, Brendan. I mean, we just actually signed the papers to launch BKFC Russia yesterday. That'll happen in April. We have Thailand coming up March 19th. We're doing a show in the UK on July 9th, I believe it is. And then in September, we're going to Amsterdam. So we're probably going to do fights in 8 different countries this year. We're getting a lot of interest from all the different organizations all over the world. So this is definitely our year.
David Feldman, you guys want to go check him out? He's got a great show coming up, KnuckleMania, Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, the beautiful Guitar Hotel. Players have been there for the fights. They always first of all, BKFC always puts on a good show, and that place is really fun. The revamped Hard Rock to go watch a fight is really, really great as well. You guys want to go out there, stack card, Mike Perry, Julian Lane, Mike Perry making his debut, Luis Palomino, local guy, taking on Martin Brown. Hell of a card, Britton Hart back at it. It's a hell of a card. Chad Mendez making his debut. David, we appreciate the time, man. Thank you so much, and we're looking forward to the show. Look forward to next week.
Thanks, Brendan. If I could just throw my plug in. If you can't catch it there live, go download the Bare Knuckle TV app. You can watch all the action there for only $4.99. So download the Bare Knuckle TV app.
All right, man. We'll see you down here. Safe travels.
All right. Thanks, Brandon.